Grace and peace, everyone. We're going to get started in just a second as we're a little bit late today, so apologies. We had some weather difficulties today, but we're here. We're going to wait a few seconds to allow a few of you to join, and but then we'll get right started with our conversation with Sheriah Orum today. So today, Sheriah, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
As we're getting started, as people are coming on, I just want to give a few announcements that I think are critical. It's probably best to get the announcements out the way today. First, I want to say happy Sunday to everyone. Secondly, I want to make a major announcement. As you guys know, there's a lot of transition here in Michigan. Schools are back open to some degree. On tomorrow, to some degree, restaurants are opening up with limited capacity and some regulations. But I also want to announce that our organization, our church, our community, our faith community, One Community Church, will be restarting. We'll be meeting after some prayer and consideration. I know there's a lot of hesitance with some of us in our community, but we're still going to go back opening the doors beginning the second Sunday in February. The goal is to have a kind of a slow launch, maybe once a month, but we're going to start the second Sunday. So again, 2 weeks from now in the month of February, and we will be meeting, as of now, we'll be meeting at the Westin Hotel in Southfield. We'll get more information about the room. I can't recall the room's name, but there is a theater room there that we'll have access to. So again, we're very excited about that. And the time will be 11 o'clock a.m. 11 to noon will be that time. We'll still do our live streams at 10:30. So from 10:30 to 11:30, the live stream will still go forth, and then we'll be having our in-person worship on the second Sunday in February. So let's get the word out. We're just so excited about being able to see many of you again and to worship again, right?
Yes.
So let's get right into it today. Today is not going to be a traditional sermon. Today is not a traditional sermon day. As you guys know, there are times where I feel led to have a conversation, a talk. Let's call it a one talk with someone. And today I have the pleasure of having a conversation with Mrs. Sheriah Orum. And Sheriah, we thank you. Sheriah is very special to our faith community. You may not know, but Sheriah, was outside of my family, was one of the first individuals to commit to being a part of this journey, and we're very excited. I have very fond and vivid memories. Many years. It seems like many years ago, but maybe it's only.
It's been a few.
It's been a few years. Yeah, been a few years. So we were a lot younger then, and but a lot wiser now. And so we're thankful for that. Anytime you're starting something fresh, to have someone and people commit to that idea, commit to that journey, commit to that vision is very special. So I thank you for that. And so we've also developed a great friendship over the years. Yes. We've worked together. We've cried together. We've so have wonderful conversations. Many of our conversations are in my mind legendary, and so I'm thankful for that. And so the reason why Sheriah, I wanted to invite her, she has she's been doing a lot. Again, recently married, and so we're excited about that. Big ups to Harold, and we want to say thank you for taking time to be with us today on this really a cold and even snowy day.
Yes.
But you have recently launched a product. You've launched a company and a product that really has centered on your passion, I would even argue your purpose that I have seen unfold over the years. And I just want to, maybe you share a little bit about that product, and not just share about the product and what it is, but also share about the why. Why did you? What motivated you? What drove you? What was the inspiration, if you will, to creating this item, this product that you have too? So I'll let you give more information about it, and then we'll kind of bounce off that.
Okay, great. Well, again, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Well, I am extremely passionate about nutrition, and over the years, it has just basically increased. Most recently, I have launched my business. It's probably been about a good month. And so basically, just some background. Off and on, I've taken like great interest in my own health, but as well as my family's and loved ones. I've got a lot of people around me that suffer with different heart diseases and high blood pressure and things of that nature. So I just know that it's of the utmost importance to try your best to take care of yourself. And when this whole pandemic really became so prominent, like last year, everyone, I think health became like something that's just on everyone's mind. What can I do to, make sure that I'm protecting myself, not just with, face coverings, but also like making sure that my health and wellness is at its best, so that if I were to be in contact with the virus, I'm somewhat, doing what I can to protect myself.
Sure.
So I started doing that for my household. Of course, we were doing our vitamins, making sure that we were taking care of ourselves physically, and also just basically, I was listening and studying and researching what would be the most vital things we could be doing to optimize our immune systems. And so with my previous I'm sorry, with my previous, basically just something that I really, really, really was passionate about, being nutrition. Now with the pandemic and seeing that it's okay, we really, really need to focus on that. All of that being combined is what drove me to start my business, which is called Love Your Health LLC. And so it is basically just about doing things that's going to create the most healthy and optimizing your immune system. I'll say that. So I have a tea.
So you said a tea,
yes,
like a like a drinking tea, like
it is a drinking tea.
Okay.
It is a tea that it can be drink hot or cold. I started drinking it and then also making it for my husband. It was just something that basically with the ingredients, I know these things will optimize your immune system. So in addition to our vitamins, it's like, okay, we're going to add this tea to our regimen, our daily regimen. And the ingredients in it are things that I know will be optimizing our immune system. It has elderberry, which is absolutely great for your immune system. It has sea moss, which is absolutely great for your immune system, and a lot of additional benefits in each of these ingredients. But the main sole thing between the common ground between all of them is they're essential to your immune system. You have sea moss, you have elderberry, you have vitamin D, you have ginger, you have turmeric, and you have other natural ingredients, and some of those being lemon, honey. All of these things are excellent. So we were drinking this on a daily basis. One of the ingredients with it being vitamin D. A lot of Americans are vitamin D deficient, especially the Black and brown community. A lot of people are not aware of that because you can get what you need from vitamin D by being in the sun, but however, it's still not at a level of where it should be. And so with this pandemic going on and a lot of research being done, and a lot of different studies, it was being shown that people who had higher levels of vitamin D ended up faring better when they contracted the virus versus those who had low levels. So that was one of the things that I definitely wanted to have in the tea. Essentially, you should be taking at least 10,000 IUs right now within the midst of a pandemic. Because with most of us being at a lower level, which you would also want to get checked with your doctor. A lot of doctors' offices don't really discuss your vitamin D levels with you. It's something you would want to bring up to them. And then once you find out your levels, you really want to be anywhere between 30 and 80. That's like your common numbers where you would be at a safe level. So my tea has 5,000 IUs per bottle. The bottles are 60 ounces. So that's something that is absolutely essential, absolutely helpful, beneficial to your immune system being at its peak optimal level. And so it has that in it. And also it has all those other ingredients that I mentioned. And with just a little research, anyone can see, okay, wow, this is helpful. This is helpful. They just look those things up. So I've done a lot of talking, but yes, that's.
So what has been the feedback, the response? I mean, personally, I know you guys have probably seen. Have you seen benefits? Have you seen how you feel better? Kind of give us a little bit about the outcome.
Yes. Well, when we were just doing it on our own, we were feeling absolutely great. More energy for sure.
More energy.
We just felt like, overall our health was just better. But I think the most noticeable thing, because you can't really see like, oh, I'm being protected from my it was more so like we just felt better within ourselves. I think we were obviously our weight was just, that was just a side benefit. We were losing weight, and I think because it's overall, it's not just, oh, I can go drink a tea and then I'm just going to be taking care of my immune system. It's an entire package, actually. So we were changing some of the things we were eating. We were, also working on physical activity. So overall, we just felt really, really good. And the people who have had the tea, tasted the tea, they really enjoy it. Excuse me. We mainly consume it hot, especially with it being winter. It's very comforting, but I really wanted it to be convenient for others as well, because people love convenience. So I made it where you have the option of drinking it cold. So people have been saying like they really, really enjoy the taste. It has a thicker consistency when it is cold, just because of the organic, natural ingredients and the settling of the product and things of that nature. But you can have it either way, and people have been enjoying it. And I think just knowing they have something they can just pick up and easily drink, and they're contributing to optimizing their immune system, it makes them feel good. So I've gotten good feedback.
So, one of the conversations that, you and I have had before is this whole idea about how every individual, I believe, and I teach this, every individual, every human individual created by the divine, by the Creator, has a unique reflection of the image of God. Every one of us, and it's so important to acknowledge that. It's so important to see that. But I think part of the journey, part of life's journey, is the rediscovery of that, right? Not the discovery, but the rediscovery of what has always been true. And I think life happens in such a way that it begins to attack some of our setbacks and failures and mistakes. It begins to attack our identity, right? And it attacks it in such a way that that we tend to begin to reflect something else that we were not designed to reflect. And so what's been pretty exciting to me to observe with you is how this journey, this rediscovery of kind of your passion, your mission in life. I want to talk about how you feel about that, how that kind of become, because it's, to me, when that it's always a beautiful thing to see the light bulb click on with people. It's always a beautiful thing to see that aha moment. I call it the God moment. That moment when you truly recognize that you are part of this beautiful gospel narrative, part of this good news of Teshuvah, return back to your original goodness, and they begin to reflect that, and you are participating in the manifestation or the unfolding of the kingdom of God, or the kingdom of heaven on earth. You get what I mean?
Yes.
And it's not so much about preaching the gospel as it is about being the gospel in your own unique way. So, talk about how you felt that unfolding, in a sense, and how that is relevant to you in this season.
Yes, I think, like you said, more so living and being. Over the course of like so many years, I have wanted to understand, purpose. What am I? You live every day and you wonder, what am I actually meant to be doing, and feeling like you're living out your purpose. And I noticed that oftentimes throughout the years, in conversation with others, it's always me kind of giving advice on different things that I know that can help them, to take care of themselves. And so it's just been, and it's constant. And it's funny because sometimes, I have family that they will even be annoyed, but it's like, it's been such great conversations. I've been able to help people. So I never paid attention to it like, okay, well, you could do things that, really, really could help people understand and know, outside of just your core circle. And so that's what has come about recently, like able to reach more than the people that I just generally interact with, and just to talk to them, because it's not about being perfect. I also am not perfect with everything that I might eat or things of that, but being conscious, trying your best, to live in your most, optimal health level. Me knowing that right now, even with just starting with the tea, that is something. And with that comes other conversation. I can bring in, other things that they can do with drinking the tea. And so it just lets me know, like, right now I feel like I am living out a purpose. I am living out, essentially, like you said, by me bringing that is love.
Yeah.
By me telling people, these are the things you can do, it's my way of giving back love to them.
Absolutely.
So that makes me feel like, okay, that aha moment, that light bulb has gone off, and now it's like from here, what else can come about?
Right.
And so that's how I feel. It makes me feel great.
Yeah. We just had that's good. I'm glad you said that. We just had a good conversation. I mean, it was a Wednesday Bible study. We had a little small group discussing the Genesis chapter 1 narrative, the Genesis chapter 1 narrative, the creation narrative, essentially. And the beautiful thing about that conversation, and you were on that, there was a couple of things that came out that really spoke to what you just said about, and the image that came to my mind was tabernacle. That our bodies are temples. Our bodies are essentially designed to tabernacle, or to house the Spirit of God, to house the image of God. So tabernacle. And so, as we were doing this study, I began to see how in the creation narrative, how God was strategically and intentionally in the first 5 days of creation, preparing an environment for us to actually be housed in, to tabernacle in, right? To reflect his image in, but to ultimately have dominion over. And it was our job to steward that, to take care of that. And oftentimes we kind of miss that purpose is to steward, to manage the creative aspects of God's creation, right? And that's the purpose that God created us to reflect that image. But we are also a tabernacle, right? And so, but not only us as God's creation, but the entire world, the entire creation, the entire earth was designed. And we see that in the seventh day. We talked about this, and how in the seventh day, it says that he rested. But the word that how we defined it was that God reigned and ruled through his creation, right? And that seventh day has never ended, right? We had the evening and the morning of the first day, the evening and the morning of the second day, the evening and the morning of the third day, the evening and the morning of the fourth day, the evening and the morning of the fifth day, the evening and the morning of the sixth day when humanity was created. And watch this, on the seventh day, he reigned and ruled, he rested. In other words, God's intent was to actually tabernacle in his creation. And so you bring up a very good point, that part of once we all wake up to the point that there is an aspect of love and care and stewardship that we ought to have. How do we manage our bodies? How do we manage our relationships? How do we manage even the failures and the mistakes that we've made in the past? How do we try to reconcile that? How do we try to redeem or restore or to bring back to some level of original healing, right? To that place. Wholeness is probably a better word. Original wholeness, right? And so when you talk about, optimizing our immune system, when you talk about trying to allow ourselves to be at our best, to be able to feel good, to love good. One of the things I've been observing lately, particularly during this pandemic, I was driving in this morning, I said, Lord, wouldn't it be beautiful? Wouldn't it be wonderful if all of us was just on the same page at the same time? Wouldn't it be beautiful if we all just was feeling good at the same time? Wouldn't it be beautiful if we all were just happy at the same time? Because what you're finding is that because we are all being impacted by all these external anxiety creators, these external events, these external things that cause internal distortions of our perception of reality and our perception of each other. What happens is that now, instead of us all being up here, some of us are down here depressed sometimes, some of us are feeling good, then it's flipped. Right. I remember there were seasons, particularly as a pastor, when I'm counseling people and in their marriages and their relationships, and then everything is going good, and I'm sitting there looking like, God, you got a sense of humor right here now. Why couldn't we all just be at the same time? and so, but maybe recognizing that it's our job to participate in one another's healing. Maybe part of our call, maybe part of our destiny, maybe part of our reflection of the image of God is recognizing that there is an ideal target. There's a point that we're shooting toward, but that we all have a part to play to collectively, not just individually, but to collectively get to that point. And so I thank you for, I think this, what you're doing with your immunity, it's something that, I love tea. I drink tea just about, I'm not going to say every night, but I do drink teas a lot of nights. And I love ginger tea. The elderberry that you have in there, like you said, lemon, honey, the vitamin D, all of that is essential. You even had some ingredients in there I had never heard of. So, turmeric, sea moss. Yeah. So, I'm sure there's a lot of extra. We actually have a lot of different health and, plant-based, whole food, plant-based experts in our community who literally will say this is good. They'll sign off on this. And I think, the beautiful thing for me is also seeing the entrepreneurship in you. So obviously the reflection of how the product benefits us from a health standpoint, I love that. But I get excited as an entrepreneur seeing others step out of the boat, step out of the realm of comfort. You have a good job, you have, some stability. Mm-hmm. And whenever you begin to do that, and I've watched you, I've seen you're doing your packaging, I've seen you're doing your shipping, and it's, to me, that level of discomfort, that level of risk taking, yes, is critical. Mm-hmm. But also smile at it because I see your learning, I see your passion. And listen, what I love about God, he does not reveal to you everything at one time. Mm-hmm. God progressively reveals to us. Because if he showed us everything, we'll be too afraid to take the next step forward. Yes. So God has to allow you, based upon his foreknowledge of what you're going to accomplish in the future, and his foreknowledge of your capacity to handle certain stressors and fears, God does just enough at the right time to get you to move to the next step, right? And he knows how to call you. He designs you. He knows how to guide you. And so it's been amazing to see you step out the boat, to walk on water, right? And to even sink a little bit, but get back up. Mm-hmm. And so, I think that's part of the journey. That's part of, failure. I once heard a sermon many years ago. It was, I hope you fail. I hope you fail. And the ultimate message was that how failure is a prerequisite for success. Yes. Right? Mm-hmm. Oftentimes we look at, I was listening to somebody talk about baseball, how they said if you bat 300, right, which is like, 30%, which means you hit 30% of the balls that are thrown at you. Batting 300 is a really good batting average in baseball, right? But what you don't realize is that that means he misses 7 out of 10 and only hits 3 out of 10. And he celebrated not because he misses 7, he celebrated because 30%. Mm-hmm. That's what you focus on. And I tend to think that oftentimes people don't see the failures. They don't see the setbacks. They don't see the tears. They don't see how long you stay up or how long you stay working on this. They oftentimes see, the shine, but part of the shine is a function of the failure. Mm-hmm. Part of the success is a function of the stumbling. Mm-hmm. You get what I mean? And so, we ought to celebrate. And I think the beauty of truly being a Christ-centered entrepreneur is truly being able to be balanced, mm-hmm, right? To be level-minded, to be consistent, right? Not to get overly excited when things are going too good and not to be overly depressed when things are going bad, but to find yourself wavering, and you do have these sometimes, but to find yourself averaging out, mm-hmm, in the middle. Yeah. And my grandmother called that, she had an old term, it was called sober-minded. Mm. Be sober-minded. I didn't even know what that meant. That's an old term right there. Sober-minded. And that's basically being, having a way of viewing the world that's pretty stable. Right, pretty good. Paul talked about that, mm-hmm, in Philippians. And so, I think I'm seeing you become that and see that. And so I don't know if you have any, anything you want to say about.
Yeah, one of the things, just by witnessing and being a part of your life and working together, and with you being an entrepreneur for so many years, and I was watching, different things that would take place even within, when we were working together, learning from maybe the days that weren't so great, or the stuff that you thought was going to go one way and it's going another, and now you have to shift and adjust and change and not be discouraged when it's not looking like what you thought. That's when you talk about the balance, being, like you said, Christ-centered entrepreneur. It takes a certain level of faith, also to just know, okay, I'm still on the right course, I'm on the right path, and regardless if it's not going exactly at the exact rate, or whatever the expectation that you might have as an individual. So, I watch your passion, your drive, and, such a huge inspiration just being in your life, our friendship, and then with you being my pastor, it's like, and I have so many others around me that were also taking that journey. And I'm just like, that fear, I did have some reservation and hesitation, some fear, like, what can I do? What should I do? Will people want to actually, purchase, or, basically participate in whatever it is that I decided, embark on, as far as, being an entrepreneur or starting a business. So, and then, just the learning curves of like, well, how do I do it? What do I do? What's the first step? What's the next step? Will, people want shipping, and then how do, it's just so much. So sometimes you can say, well, you know what, since there's so much to learn and so much to do, I'm good. I'll just be stable, consistent at my current job. I don't want to learn all that stuff. And then you have to know, like, okay, where, like you said, God doesn't show us everything about whatever our life will be like at one time. So what's my next step? Where am I going now? It's not just to be right here. And then I know just going to a 9 to 5 every day is not just my purpose. I do know that much.
Sure.
So it's like, okay, let me, take this moment, step out on faith, and believe, and go on this journey. And even when things are not looking like however I might think initially, or even when they're super great, just to be consistent and continue, and to know also, with being an entrepreneur and being Christ-centered, I understand also it's about a profit.
Yeah.
But it's not my main driving force, because the basis behind my business is about health, and it's me coming from a place of love, wanting to see people actually understand and know what they should be doing for their health, and especially their immune systems. Because when people have taken these vitamins and done various things, drinking the teas, if they were to contract any virus, not just coronavirus, but if they were able to get through that better, they didn't have the detrimental symptoms that put them in the hospital and affected their breathing. So, just knowing that, and I've got my mom and everyone in my life, like, do this, do that. Before I even got people on the teas, I had people taking vitamin D, because a lot of people were, I'm taking vitamin C, but people were missing that main component of vitamin D. They weren't aware, and it's like, you need to be taking a high level. So I think that, the whole package.
And this is a much more tastier way, delectable way of taking vitamin, because I actually take vitamin D, and it ain't good. Them little white pills, I don't like them. So, but this is a much more exciting, much more tastier way, and you get other benefits from drinking the tea than just your vitamin D. So I actually think that's a wonderful, wonderful benefit, and it differentiates the product, which is a key element to being a successful business or product. Why should I take yours? Why should I buy this? Why is this tea better than Lipton tea? Why is this tea better than Arizona, right? And so I think yours has some tremendous attributes and benefits, being a kind of a whole foods, if you will, type of product that has these health benefits. So I thank you for that. And just as I want you to give the people a little bit how they can find your product, like what's some of the information. What would be is a website you have, Facebook or anything like that, or Instagram?
Yeah, we have our business pages right now on Instagram and Facebook. We are working on developing the website. On Facebook, you can find us at Love Your Health LLC, or you can just look up Riri's Immunities. That's the Facebook page. So it's actually, the page is Riri's Immunities, but if you were to type in Love Your Health LLC, you'd also be able to find that. And then on Instagram, it's the same. It's Love Your Health _LLC. on Instagram. As far as purchasing, right now it's mainly through Cash App and PayPal. Once you go on the Facebook page, you'll see the PayPal and the Cash App. The Cash App, off the top of my head, I know that one. The PayPal is a specific link that I would have to share, but in the comments perhaps. But it is the $ Love Your Health LLC on Cash App, and the bottles are they're I package them usually like this, so you'll have like 3. But you can choose whatever amount you want. It's just easier for me to package them by 3, and then if people order less, I'll, obviously 2, 1, whatever. So it's like this. It's a 16-ounce bottle. You can have up to 2 servings with a 16-ounce bottle, because you can pour 8 ounces in a mug and heat that up hot, or you can consume it cold. Give it a good shake, drink some, put it back in the refrigerator. I do recommend that it's stored refrigerated, kept cold. That's the best. Like I said, with the all natural and organic ingredients in the tea, it has a thicker consistency, and so you will have your products that settle at the bottom. You really want to always give it a great shake, even before pouring it into the mug, before heating it up. And then when you're consuming it hot, you also want to continue to stir. But yes, this is how you can purchase it. $6 a bottle, like I said. We have shipping and delivery. So if you're in the local area, Metro Detroit, Michigan, I will connect with you, and I can bring the tea directly, contactless delivery, drop it off at your door.
So Riri's Immunities, TEA, not TY.
Yeah, TEA.
Riri's
Immunities with an S.
Well, thank you, Riri. We thank everyone for being here today. As we want to close this out, thank Riri. I'm so excited about her. And again, I want to use this analogy for any of you who are thinking about just, a passion, anything you're doing during this time. I think this is a wonderful time. Oftentimes during these times, this is a perfect time to launch a business. And so we want to say thank you for Sheriah being here today, and we're so excited. We love you.
I would be remiss, everyone, this is unexpected. He does not know. Today is Pastor Don O'Brien's birthday. He is the most humble person that I know, and he definitely would not be saying anything. And I have to, as a friend, give you this. These balloons are green and white from his alma mater, Michigan State. This is a basket from myself and Harold with lots of gifts. This is totally unexpected, but I just want to say happy birthday.
Thank you.
I want you to know that you have made a great impact in my life and so many others. I just think that you're just beyond a wonderful person. You're so hardworking. Your humility is just absolutely... It's mind-blowing. You don't ask for much. You're always giving. You're just such a great friend, a great father, a passionate leader. I could just go on and on and on. But our relationship has grown so much over the years. And having me on, to speak about my tea, just to have a conversation, when you and I talk, we just talk about so much. We just, go all over the place. And it's some of those wonderful moments in both of our lives, and those conversations and the takeaways have just been tremendous. And I wanted to just give you something and just let you know that I love you. I appreciate you as a pastor and a friend.
Thank you, Sheriah.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Listen, everyone, she kind of threw me off walking in. I started thinking, like, what in the world is going on? Somebody knocking on the door.
Who just walked up on the line?
I was like, Lord. I was like, man, we'll have to talk. But no, I really appreciate it. Thank you to you and Harold. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. Until next week, we say God bless you. We look forward to seeing you. We'll be live next week again with a traditional sermon, and then we'll be the second week in February. We'll still be live, but we'll also have our in-person service. There'll be 2 different services: our 30-minute service here live, and then we'll have our in-person service with our local Michigan people here at the Westin Hotel in Southfield. God bless you. We love you. God bless. Take care. Bye-bye.